This week's feast,
a stunning stratagem from Genshin Impact. Today we are making a very special food item that only Sangonomiya Kokomi can create in Genshin Impact. And this is a special one because she's got those true gotcha eyes. I mean, just look at them. Don't you want to gamble? The key ingredients are bird egg and rice, and the description for this bad boy reads, the egg is wrapped up almost like a package, and the fishtail at the end is both small and very cute. It really makes you wonder what's inside the package, but at the same time, you can't bear to eat such a beautiful looking thing. You glance at the crystal clear smile in Kokomi's eyes. Ah, darn it, you've fallen for her trick, haven't you? I mean, hot diggity, I just want to play gacha games all day now. Take my money, Genshin. Just kidding, save it, spend on something that's worth your time. Anyway, there are two roads to go with this recipe. The stunning stratagem could be like a tacky, a sweet dessert with delicious cream fillings, made famous by My Hero Academia in recent history, or a mochi kinchaku, which is a Japanese rice cake made with aburage tofu. Now, we love sweets on the channel, so we're gonna make a vanilla bean pastry cream puff with some flair. There are a lot of parts to this recipe, so don't be overwhelmed, but we're gonna try and make it picture perfect. So we're gonna go through it one step at a time, and we're gonna start by creating the little seashell in front. It was important to us to make every part of this recipe edible, so we've got just the trick. Silicone mold making kits combine two different liquids that harden when they're mixed together into a rubber. So definitely wear gloves when you're doing this, but turns out you can make molds out of almost anything, including these jewelry seashells we found. Put the seashells inside, face them down, and then put the mold away so that it will fully and completely harden. Once that's done, remove the plastic shells from the mold, take that mold out of the case, and then you're ready to make some seashells out of edible materials. So we used a small food paintbrush and we melted candy melts to color the wide part of the shell blue and then the rest of it white. Then just clean off the backside of this so it is flat and let this dry. Now the next detail of this recipe you might actually not have seen when you looked at it originally, but we couldn't pass up the opportunity to make something for these translucent leaves that sit below the stunning stratagem. Our rockstar food producer Kelly came up with a stunning way to bring these to life by making a kohakuto jelly. Apologies for my pronunciation. Pour water into a saucepan and combine with agar-agar and let it bloom in the water for about 5 minutes. Now bring that mixture to a simmer and keep it there while stirring everything together. Then combine your sugar and continue mixing until it's fully see-through. Remove it from the heat and add any flavoring you like. We chose orange. Oil a separate heat-proof dish, pour in your mixture, and add food coloring to both sides. Stir it together and blend it in the middle, like an ombre. It's an art project. Set this in the fridge for 2 to 3 hours. When it's solidified, carefully remove it from the container and cut it to the desired shape with an X-Acto knife or a paring knife. The shape that we want to make is a long, kelp-looking leaf, and then score some lines down the center. This will need to cure at room temperature for 2 to 3 days until it fully hardens, and then it will look like these. Wow, very, very cool. This is harder, it can hold its shape, and you can see the details of the scoring that we did down the middle. Now it's time to make the fishtail pouch, which is basically a big, yummy cream puff. In a saucepan, heat water, milk, sugar, butter, and salt on low heat until the butter has melted. Remove it from the heat once it reaches a boil. Sieve flour into the saucepan and mix quickly until the dough is formed and kind of looks like mashed potatoes, but it's not, so don't eat it. Transfer this to a mixing bowl and toss it around for a couple of minutes to cool the mixture down. We're going to be adding eggs to the next step, and you do not want the residual heat of the dough to scramble them. You'll ruin the whole thing. Using a stand mixer, add in your eggs one at a time on low speed until it is well combined. When it's done, transfer the dough to a piping bag and let's make some tail pouches. On parchment paper, pipe an ice cream swirl, or a poop emoji, really up to your own imagination, and add the tops of the bags that look like fishtails. In order to smooth this out, you can use a food brush and wet it with some water and paint over the dough until you get the smooth surfaces that you're looking for. With some precision, use your fingers and a little brush to help make those fishtails a little pointier, and then transfer this to the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. When that has been baked and cooled, you can use a chopstick or a skewer to puncture the bottom of these cream puffs and carefully pipe in the vanilla bean pastry cream into each. Now we're not going to show the full recipe of that here because this video is long enough as it is, so just click on the show more box below the video to see the full thing. Anyway, set these aside and let's complete the final elements of this recipe. Now, of course, the key to making an accurate representation of this dish in real life is our favorite ingredient, fondant. We always recommend getting pre-made and colored fondant if you can, but if you really want to make it yourself, we've included a recipe that we love from our dear friend Rosanna Pansino in the description box below. Once the fondant is ready, use powdered sugar to coat your working surface and roll it out so that you can make all of the different elements. First, we're going to make the strips that run down the front of the bags. We used a ruler to cut straight lines and then a butter knife to sort of create and score the smaller accent lines you can see in the original art. Then roll out the fondant to really thin strips and shape it like the bow that is on front. Finally, paint your powdered sugar over the fondant to give that nice final glow. Okay. Time to piece all of our bits together. With your fishtail pouch in hand, measure your fondant carefully and wrap it around the top. Then use some candy melts as glue. Apply the bottom part of the bow and the 2 loops. Finally, place the seashell on top to cover the intersection of all the different lines. Repeat this same process for the other pouch very carefully, and voila! Wow, this was such a fun recipe to dream up, and just look at how accurate it is to the in-game version in Genshin Impact. Now, we knew that a sweet and tasty version of this recipe was the way to go. After all, it let us perfectly recreate the bow and the shell adorning the stunning stratagem, and bring all of you Feast of Fiction fans an awesome, true to Genshin Impact recipe from top to bottom. Cream puffs are a hit at any party. They're just so tasty inside and out, and we hope these little additions and details that we've added here are gonna let you take your baking to the next level. Let us know in the comments what you think about all of these Genshin Impact recipes we've been doing. There has never been a game quite like this that has so many different options that look so good. So we're very happy to keep creating these recipes if you're down to keep watching them. Let us know. Wow.
Wow.
Stunning indeed.
Indeed.
This was a pretty complex recipe, not gonna lie. There's fondant, there's molds, there's chocolate, there's
but worth
curing.
it.
Yeah, super
worth it.
Super worth
because
it.
Because look at the end result, y'all. This could not be more precious.
Not to mention this part of it as well, completely edible.
Wow,
Awesome.
I know. You guys are definitely gonna want to make this recipe. Should we try it?
We should. Cheers.
Before we just...
Which side are you gonna go in on?
The bottom.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. The filling.
Wow.
These cute little pastry bags with little fishtails on top. Oh my gosh.
This is so cute.
This is awesome.
So it's a cream puff.
You know, I'm actually happy to eat.
In the shape of fishtails.
I'm happy to eat fondant finally.
Wow.
So cool.
Never a day I would expect to hear him say that.
Fondant is usually something we avoid all the time on the show because it's hard to work with.
Bane of his existence, actually.
But this recipe incorporates it in a really easy way, and the end result is adorable. It looks just like Sangonomiya's Sangonomiya Kokomi. Bingo. Sangonomiya Kokomi's recipe. It looks exactly like it. Perfect, one-to-one.
Can you say that 3 times?
Sangonomiya Kokomi. Sangonomiya whatever. SK, I dare you to find a better recipe from Genshin Impact online. Just saying.
And this is like orange candy.
Yeah.
Really delicious.
Yeah, the fact that this is a part of, normally like when you see the dressing on a dish, you don't actually make it. You just put a leaf there or you just ignore it. But
garnish.
We had to go all the way this time around. So big ups to everyone that helped make this possible.
You guys can see all that's left is the tails, which means
it's
pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, thanks so much everyone for always sticking around. Feast of Fiction. Ashley and I get to be in town for this one together. So welcome back to Los Angeles, Ashley.
Thank you. So happy to be back. I've been missing my partner in crime, and we've been missing you guys and our interaction with you guys. So thank you guys so much for being patient and nice. You know, we've been away a little bit this year. We haven't done as many as we'd like to have done this year. As you guys know, this is our 10th year doing this. So
yeah, kind of crazy.
It's really exciting, but also we've missed you guys, and we're gonna try to keep making them even though one person is remote, and you know, this is how it is. So we're all going through adjustments. COVID is weird. Glad to be back.
But food is great as always, and recipes are fun to do by yourself, with your family, with your friends, over Discord when you're playing games like Genshin Impact, whatever you want. Let us know in the comments below, and we will try to do our best to address the most wanted recipes and make them for you. the viewers.
And as you guys know, we have a Patreon, so patreon.com/feastafiction. If you guys want to check more out there, we're on Discord chatting. We're always around. So
there's a lot of you out there that aren't subscribed that are watching right now that may love Genshin Impact. We've done a few recipes in the past, and we guaranteed we'll do more in the future, as well as tons of stuff from all of your other favorite video games. So check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment below. Let us know what you want to see us make next. All that good stuff.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Bye-bye.